Hey everyone, it's Stu. Hope you're well. Happy New Year to you and welcome to 2024. I guess I can still say Happy New Year even though it's a week or so after, because this is my first video of the year and I've not spoken to you guys for a while and it feels good to be back. I don't feel that great though. Got a bit of a cold, but I think 90% of the population has. But yeah, anyway, so that's just a warning, is I might cough or something like that. But yeah, welcome to my channel, welcome guys. Today we're going to go through an article from Bloomberg around predictions for 2024 in the gaming industry. So I really wanted to talk about this because I thought it's a good, nice little thing to talk about and interact with you guys about. And I think that I'm going to give some of my predictions. We're going to go through some of their predictions. There's a lot of predictions out there on the internet for 2024, seems to be the theme at the moment. So I wanted to give my 2 cents on that. And yeah, basically start a discussion with you guys. So let's get into it, shall we? So yeah, like I said, for Bloomberg, if you want to see this article, it's Bloomberg UK. And they've got 5 big video game industry predictions for 2024. So he's basically gone through and he's gave some of his predictions. Now, some of them I'm not that sure about. I don't fully understand, to be honest, but because it's a lot around the industry. But some of them I definitely want to go into. So what we'll do first is we'll go through his, and then I'll give my counter 5, I guess, and we'll go from there. So what we've got is, first one we have got is, let's go back into the world of the Nintendo Switch 2. So for anyone who's watched some of my content before, you might have seen in the news a while ago. I can't remember exactly when it was. No idea. It's gone. There's rumours knocking around about the Switch 2 will launch in 2024. So he's saying here there will be an unexpected twist. Now, he goes on a bit about the Switch has always been a bit far out with its innovation and stuff. It's always never done what people expected. But then he also says at the end, and this bit annoys me about it, and I have got a counter to this one, which we'll go through at the end. But essentially, he's then saying, my long shot prediction, just here, if you can see, if you're watching, or if you're just listening, my long shot prediction, a more complicated console with a detachable screen for portable gaming. I don't know how to break that to you, mate, but isn't that what the Switch does now? I don't know what he means by a more complicated console as well. But he's saying, I think the Switch 2 will be a portable console like its predecessor. But I also think it will come with some strange quirk. He thinks like AR or something like that. I don't know. It's a fair prediction, to be fair. He could be right, but mine's a bit more far out for that, and I'll come back to that in a sec. Then he goes into something about Saudi Arabia on the second prediction, and we'll go big on gaming. So apparently, I didn't know this, but they've already made big investments in esports. And he thinks that they will try to go towards some more Western developers, and they will try and basically get the investment in there and try and take over there. So if anyone watches football in the UK, you'll understand this kind of thing from Saudi takeovers, because you see a lot in Premier League clubs. They come in, loads of money, buy loads of players, stuff like that. So I guess he's kind of leaning towards that. But what he's saying here as well, that he also thinks they might have a bit of a hard time because of all their human rights stuff that they've got going on. So this is getting a bit political, which I don't really want to go into too much. I've not really got a counter to this one or a prediction against this one. I've kind of put a different prediction in. So we'll come back to that as well. Very weird one. Very weird one. I didn't even know anything about this, but yeah, apparently that's what happens in the industry behind closed doors. Consolidation will return is his third one. So this is basically kind of off the back of the Activision Blizzard deal. And he's saying that people will make smaller moves, obviously not as big as AVK, but he basically thinks that mergers and acquisitions will continue to be a drawn-out battle through 2024. So I actually disagree with this one, and I'll come back to why in a sec. But he's saying that people will go for things like Ubisoft, things like EA, and like Borderlands developer and things like that. So he thinks that that's basically going to continue on to 2024. I've got a different opinion about that. Keep listening and I'll give you my opinion. But we'll go through his first. Games as a service will face a reckoning. So this one's a bit weird. So when he's on about basically like Fortnite and Destiny and stuff, basically not doing as well as they've done recently. And he's also saying a lot of like games as a service, online games. People who don't know what games as a service is, it's basically you release the game, there's never like a sinkhole, there's never an end, it's just constantly live, always getting updated seasons, new content, stuff like that. He basically thinks that this will kind of implode this year, and his examples of this are Skull and Bones and Suicide Squad. Now I'm not sure about that either, and we'll come back to this one as well. I've kind of got a counter to this, and my counter to this is basically more around like first party and subscription services. So I've got like two for this one. Another one that I'm not that invested in, but it's very interesting to read, is the union effort will begin for real. So basically he's predicting that there'll be a significant change this year for unionisation of employees, because unfortunately, as we might know, in 2023 and probably even earlier after COVID and things like that, there's been a lot of layoffs in the industry and there's been a lot of struggles. So I think now he thinks that there'll be big moves towards the unionisation of employees, and he thinks it will play out in a major way this year, especially from Microsoft. He thinks that will be like the leader of it, especially with all the ABK stuff. But I'm not sure on this one. I've not got a counter to this one, but I have got something different to slot in there. So they're his 5. Enough of his 5. Let's go into my 5, shall we? Or our 5, because I want to hear what you guys think as well. And if you've got any different ones that I might not come up with. So I will go back to the Switch 2 stuff, because I have got kind of like a counter to that. So in summary for this, he thinks 2024, the Switch 2 is coming out. And if you have a quick look on Google and search Switch 2, you'll see there's a lot of articles recently around the Switch 2 is going to come out in 2024, predicted to come out, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, stuff like that. So I wanted to give my 2 cents, and I actually think that they are all wrong. And I could be very wrong, but I actually think I don't think it will be 2024. I think it will be more early 2026, maybe end of 2025. And I think that would be more in line with Xbox and PlayStation's next generation and going into the next gen, because if Nintendo to launch now, they're kind of missing a generation. Though it has been a lot of years since the first Switch, I just don't see it happening this year. But my bold statement on this is, he's not really gone, like we said a minute ago, he's not really gone on a bold statement. He's just saying, I think it'll be the same, just more complicated with AR. Yeah, maybe, but kind of does that stuff already. So I actually think they'll go down the Xbox One route. So the Xbox One really, as like gamers especially, will remember that it didn't quite work at the time, but they went for like a home entertainment system rather than just a gaming console. I think Nintendo might try and attempt that in some way. I think they'll adapt the console to be like, have like more voice activation and more AI and more, especially with like their fitness stuff that they always do. I think they'll be like, they'll probably get a few ideas from like Apple Watch and stuff. There'll be like a Switch Watch maybe, or Switch Watch, that's hard to say, Switch Watch. But yeah, that I think they'll go like a home theater style with like a big focus on AI, because I think all of them are going to get involved in AI at some point. Yeah, what do you think to that? Bold statement, lad. So, yeah, we got my second one. His second one's about the Saudi Arabia stuff, but my second one was more of a push on subscription services. And this leads into the next one a bit as well, but he's saying like people will try and like get into gaming and stuff more. I don't think so. I think we'll actually see a lot of push on subscriptions. So Microsoft do it really well already. I think they'll further push that. I think either, I know this is a bit sitting on the fence with my prediction, but I think either Sony will completely sack off PS Plus, or they'll really ramp up and really give Microsoft a fight. And I think it could be like a shocker, like, oh, day one's on there, God of Wars, all that stuff that PlayStation do. And then that will force Microsoft to be stronger with their day one releases and third-party day one releases. So I think there'll be a massive push. Or, I know this is a bit of a shite prediction, but or it will go the opposite way. Microsoft will just go into their own kind of thing, kind of like Nintendo do their own thing. Sony will stay and do like all based on console and physical sales and all that stuff. I think it will go either one way or the other. But either way, I think there'll be a massive focus and a lot of news on subscription services this year. So watch this space. I'm kind of interested in that one because I do like my subscription. I like my Xbox Game Pass subscription. There's so many games I played last year in 2023 that either I wouldn't have or would have had to pay a lot more money for. So I'm glad for it, and I'm looking forward to more of that this year in 2024. My next one, so he's on about consolidation. However, I think there'll be more stuff. So he's gone down a route of like, oh, there's going to be loads of there's going to be more mergers, and Ubisoft are going to get bought, EA are going to get bought and stuff. I'm going to tangent off that a little bit with my prediction. I think mine will be more partnerships. So it'd be more partnerships with things like MetaQuest, like Xbox do, and Facebook and Meta and all them kind of people. There'll be more partnerships in the cloud space. There'll be more partnerships in AI. There'll be more partnerships in AR, VR, stuff like that. I think what Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo will push towards this year instead of accusations is like more partnerships. Let's work with, I don't know, for example, Steam. They're going to help us build the next console, stuff like that kind of thing. Like, I know that's ridiculous and that's not going to happen, but that kind of thing, I think it'd be like mobile companies for mobile gaming and cloud. I mean, like Sony might like combine with like T-Mobile and things like that. Like, I think they'll push towards more partnerships rather than acquisitions and mergers, like was so big this year and the year before. So I think that will slow down a bit, actually. Then he went into games of service will face a reckoning. So I guess, does my prediction? No, mine doesn't really sit into this either. Mine's a bit different. So what mine is that I think Sony. So he says here about Sony cancelling a lot of their live service games that were already. I don't think it's because live service will face a reckoning. I don't think live service is gonna just die off completely. I think it's more to go down a route as there's not going to be such a focus on first party this year because they've got such focus on everything else. I don't think first party will be a massive push this year. And that kind of goes back to what I was just saying around Sony like dropping these live services and going more towards subscriptions. And I don't think there'll be a reckoning with live service. I just think that the ones that do come will be really good. I think that's the focus on it. I think they're basically sitting down with that and saying, can this compete? Can this compete with Fortnite? Can this compete with Call of Duty? Stuff like that. And if the answer's no, then they're sacking it off. And it's the right thing to do. But yeah, I think first party, there's a big push on. There's a lot of discussion around first party, especially after like the showcases and the Game Awards and stuff. I don't think there'll actually be a big push on it this year. I don't see a lot of first party announcement and news coming. And I think we'll go more towards, if there is anything, it'd be, it's on PlayStation first and then Xbox, kind of like what happened with Baldur's Gate, or I think it will be things like that rather than solid like first party. And I'm glad, because I hate first party. If you know me, if you talk to me regularly, you'll know that I can't stand first party. I think there's a better way we could do it, but that's for another day. Let's park that one. And my last one was around, so he's on about the union effort, not too forced, and then all that stuff. But before I leave you guys today, I'll give you my last one. My last one was a bit around like cheating. So cheating in gaming. So end of last year, there was like a lot of news around Call of Duty, especially with Ricochet gaming software, which is basically their anti-cheat software, AI, all this stuff. So I think there'll be a massive push on this year. So anti-cheat has really started to like pop up on my feeds and stuff. Like I've seen on social medias, people calling out streamers for cheating, people calling out content creators for cheating, and all this stuff. And good. I hope there is a massive push on cheating. Not just from like Call of Duty. I hope we see a lot more talk from what Xbox are planning to do and what PlayStation and Nintendo and things like that, and PC, like what they're planning to do to stop this, because I feel like we're on the edge of like a bit of an epidemic of cheating. I'm not just saying this as a bitter because I'm rubbish at games, but like if you actually look at like the results and the research of cheaters and like people figuring out, like debunking cheaters, basically, you're gonna see a lot of that. That's not really in the main industry. That's more the like content industry and stuff like that. It won't affect me because one, I don't cheat, and two, I'm just a little streamer and a little content creator over here in the corner, so I won't be involved in them decisions. But yeah, I think there'll be a massive push there on cheating, and also I think there'll be a lot of talk again around like Twitch and provocative like streaming and content, and I personally think there'll be a lot of clamp down on that. But also I can kind of see like a lot of like more drastic stories of like a lot more headlines around Twitch basically let you do anything you want and stuff like that. My final one on that, on like streaming services and stuff, like the YouTubes and stuff, my big prediction for 2024 here, and we'll end on this one because it's daft, is Microsoft or Apple will get in on the action. So obviously you've got Google with YouTube, you've got Amazon with Twitch. I actually think Microsoft or Apple could bring that back. Will they bring Mixer back? Probably not, but I think there will be some talks at least about one of the big boys thinking about it and getting involved with it, like really getting involved with it. So let's see with that one. I honestly, between you and me, I don't think that's actually going to happen. That's just a that's my big far out prediction for today. But yeah, we'll end on that bombshell, shall we? So yeah, that's your lot. Thank you guys, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe. Let me know what you think as well. That's the main thing I want to get out of this, is the interaction with you guys to say what your predictions are, what you think will happen. Do you agree about the Switch 2? Do you agree about subscriptions? Do you agree about first party stuff? And I just want to hear your thoughts basically, and see what you guys think as well. So that's the main thing. Well, have a great day, enjoy your week, and thank you again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.